Okay, now let's look at some other prompts that we can use to generate ideas or to create a basic outline for different types of content. So for a presentation, you can ask something like, can you help me brainstorm ideas for a presentation on, and then just mention the topic. Or I need to create a presentation on, give it the topic of the subject and what are some key points I should cover. And I'm giving a talk on, again, just mention the topic or the theme, and can you suggest an outline for it? For portfolio, you can ask something like, I'm building my portfolio. What are some projects I can include? What sections should I include in my portfolio to showcase my skills effectively? And can you help me organize my portfolio to highlight my strengths? For a resume, you can ask something like, I'm updating my resume. What are some key sections I should include? How can I tailor my resume for a specific job application? For blog post, you can say something like, what are some trending topics I can write about in my niche? And then just mention whatever you want to or whatever you're comfortable with. Or how can I structure a blog post for maximum engagement? And I need to write an essay or article on a subject, and what are some potential angles? Can you help me outline an argumentative essay on a topic? What are some current events or issues I can write an analysis on? How can I develop characters for my novel? Can you help me brainstorm themes for a poem? And for a speech or a talk, you can say something like, I'm preparing a speech for an event. What are some impactful opening lines? And how can I structure a TED style talk for maximum engagement? You can see these are some really good ideas, and it's just a starting point. There is so much more to explore with ChatGPT, and there's so much you can alter and so much you can edit. You can just explore its capabilities and its limits, and it's a nice place to get started. Now let's move on to the third part of our course, research and expanding content. Research can chip away at a lot of your time, and finding accurate information can take you a lot of time and effort, especially if you're searching with Google or any other internet browser, because you have to scroll through links and find accurate information. You'll have to look for reliable sources and fact check that information again and again. It can really eat away at your time and energy, and it is really just not productive. So how can you use ChatGPT to research effectively so that you save time and energy and you can get the things that need to be done faster? So as we already know, ChatGPT can help with information retrieval. You can search up practically anything you want, and most of the time it can provide you relevant and reliable resources. It's good to fact check some important dates or information that ChatGPT does give you, because as we know, it is not always up to date. It does not get updated on a regular basis. So it's good to fact check like very important information, but on a general basis, you can trust that it provides you accurate information. And like we've already seen, ChatGPT also provides you summarization for information that you've gathered, articles, documents, and it can provide you outlines for presentations, like we've already seen. Fact checking, this you can do, and ChatGPT has access to a vast amount of information on various topics and can provide you explanations and insights. It can help you with writing assistance like sentence structure, if you're rewording things, if you want to make your paper sound a little more professional, or maybe you want to make it a little more casual. It can help you with nuances of writing and all grammar and stuff like that. And last but not least, it saves you so much time on citations. So it can help you properly cite sources in various citation styles like APA, MLA, Chicago, etc. Researching can be time-consuming and demanding, requiring thorough investigation and analysis to find useful insights and accurate information. However, we can use ChatGPT to our advantage to cut down on the long hours it takes to research information so you can work effectively, saving time and energy. So let's look at a couple prompts to help you get started with research. So let's look at a couple prompts to help you get started with research. Starting off, you can ask ChatGPT what is the definition of and mention a specific term or concept in the context of and mention a topic. What are the most recent advancements or discoveries in a specific topic? Do you have any quotes or insights from experts in the field regarding a topic? What are the potential social, economic, or environmental impacts of a specific development or trend? What are some potential areas for future research or exploration? Can you provide statistical data or figures related to a topic such as trends or demographics? What are the key differences between two competing theories or approaches? And how does this topic influence or intersect with broader societal issues or policies? So you can see ChatGPT really covers all bases with research and helping you get started with information to kind of kickstart you along with your project or assignment or presentation or whatever it is that you're doing. So now let's look at these prompts in action, and you can really see the full scope of what ChatGPT does. Alright, so the first prompt that I really want to see in action is this one. What are the most recent advancements or discoveries in say space travel? So I'm researching space travel and I want to know what are the most recent discoveries in space travel. So I'll just copy and we'll paste that into ChatGPT. And you can see it's given us a couple of advancements, or basically some of the most recent stuff that's happening. But you can see it says, as of my last update in January 2022, there were several notable advancements and discoveries in space travel. However, I cannot provide information on events or discoveries that have occurred after that time. Some recent advancements up to January 2022 include, and it's given us a list of 6 things. So as I already mentioned several times, when you're researching with ChatGPT, you should remember that it has some limitations. Even though it's really, really great, it does have some limitations, and one of them is that it is not constantly updating. So if you're doing something more like recent or something that is very fact heavy or like very professional, then you should definitely head over to Google and do some more research there. But you can see that it's given us a couple of points, and maybe more recent developments have been based on the things that have already happened up to 2022. So you can like start with commercial space tourism, and maybe you get more advanced into commercial space tourism. But yeah, so let's look at a couple of these things. We have the SpaceX Starship, led by Elon Musk, has been developing the Starship spacecraft, which is designed to be a fully reusable spacecraft capable of carrying humans to destinations like the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Several test flights of Starship prototypes have been conducted with varying degrees of success. We have commercial space tourism coming up with companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic. And we have international collaboration. The ISS continues to serve as a platform for scientific research and international cooperation. And we do have the Artemis program. NASA's Artemis program aims to return humans to the moon by the mid-2020s, including the first woman and the next man. This program intends to establish sustainable lunar exploration, including the Artemis base camp near the lunar South Pole. So you can see it's given you an overview of what's happened up to 2022, and you can continue your research based on these titles, or you can request more information from ChatGPT regarding these. Now let's look at another prompt. So say we're researching the potential social, economic, or environmental impacts of electric cars. So let's do that. What are the potential social, economic, or environmental impacts of the widespread use of electric cars. So we have a list. The widespread adoption of electric cars could have several social, economic, and environmental impacts. We have environmental benefits, energy dependence, economic opportunities, challenges, equity considerations, supply chain impacts. Okay, we have a nice list here, but you can see that not everything is good. They also contribute to reducing dependence on fossil fuels, which helps conserving natural resources and reduces the environmental impact of extracting and burning fossil fuels. So that's a good thing. So maybe we want a pros and cons list because you can see that we do have some really good things happening due to the widespread use of electric cars, but you can also see down here we have some infrastructure challenges and we have supply chain impacts, like ensuring a sustainable and ethical supply chain for these materials will be important to avoid environmental degradation and human rights abuses associated with mining activities, because electric cars require batteries, and batteries are made up of things like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth metals, and that means you have to mine for them. So maybe we want a list of pros and cons. So let's ask ChatGPT to organize this information and give us some more information. Give me some more information regarding this topic and organize it into two lists of pros and cons. So we have our pros, we have environmental benefits, energy dependence, diversification of energy sources, renewable energy like solar and wind power, economic opportunity like potential for economic growth and competitiveness in global markets, technological advancements, reduced operating costs, and we have challenges like for the traditional automotive industry, because that can displace a lot of jobs, because a lot of people are a part of the traditional automotive industry, and that would mean a lot of jobs are lost if people completely shift to electric cars. And like we said, we have the battery recycling, the mining, and energy production challenges. So this is a good list, but perhaps we want all this information in a table so that we can directly copy and paste it into our presentation or whatever it is that you're doing. So let's ask ChatGPT to make a table. Create a table using this information. Create two tables. Information, one of pros and cons. Okay, so we have a pros table and then we have a cons, and you can see it's just like really nicely organized, and you can directly take copy and paste this, and of course edit it to your needs. It's something good to start with. And the last one that we're just going to look at are, let's do something a little more academic. So we're going to look at the key differences between Dalton's atomic model and Rutherford's atomic model. So let's do that. Dalton's atomic model and Rutherford's. Okay, so you can see ChatGPT is really helpful if you're doing research for like a school project or something like that, Or maybe you just want to learn more and you're having trouble understanding something. And you can say indivisible spheres, homogeneous and identical, conservation of mass, and Rutherford's atomic model. It even mentions the dates, which is really nice. Nuclear structure, Rutherford's model proposed that atoms have a dense positively charged nucleus at the center, surrounded by negatively charged electrons orbiting the nucleus. Electron orbits, nuclear forces. So you have a nice compare and contrast of both the models. But now we do know that both these models were kind of wrong, but they were also kind of right. But it's really nice to learn. And if you have any questions, I'm losing my train of thought. Okay. So it really helps you with research and for any school projects or anything that you have in mind.